Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Practical IT Midweek News. My name is Jeremy, your host, and we've got some of the best articles and news items that you can find this week in between Christmas and New Year's. So let's go ahead and get started. First up, over on opensource.com, Don Watkins, who has been around the open source world for a long time, has an article on his favorite open source alternatives of 2022, and some highlights from this list include Mastodon, Notion, Collabora Online, rocket.chat and Delta Chat, Plausible, which is an alternative to Google Analytics, and others. Check it out. Article is down in the description. Moving on. Manjaro 22 Sicaris has been released. Article is in the description. It includes such new features as KDE Plasma 5.26, GNOME 43, XFCE 4.18, and the 6.1 Linux kernel. Check it out if you want to do some testing or live on the cutting edge. This is one way you can do it. Next up, the Linux 6.2 kernel has reached the Release Candidate 1 status, and it includes new CPU and GPU updates in addition to other features. You can find more in the article over on debugpoint.com, and that is linked down in the description. Moving on, one of the more exciting articles of this short work week is that Canonical, the company behind Ubuntu, is considering an initial public offering, or IPO, in 2023. This article on Linuxiac details what that could mean for Ubuntu users. And you know, it got me thinking, maybe the guys over at the Linux Mint team have been right all along in wanting to have a fallback option, just in case, which is why they've kept developing the Linux Mint Debian edition. So we'll have to see what this will mean for Canonical and for Ubuntu users if this actually happens. The Linuxiac article, as well as the original interview with Mark Shuttleworth, are both linked down in the description. Over on 9to5linux.com, there is a new article on an exciting new version of Unity, version 7.7, which is due out with the Ubuntu Unity 23.04 release. It's going to include a new welcome app written in Flutter, as well as other changes to bring it into a little more feature parity with Unity 8, which is the mobile version. And you can check out that article over on 9to5linux.com, linked down in the description. And finally, to wrap things up, I wanted to spend a few moments talking briefly about Flatpak. Flatpak, if you've now been keeping up, or if you're new to the world of Linux, is one of three options that have been built to enable universal apps on Linux. And when I say this, universal apps means that you can run the same app package on Debian-based systems, on Red Hat-based systems, on Arch-based systems, wherever you've got support for Flatpak, for AppImage, for Snap. The great thing about these packages is that everything is basically self-contained, and that they don't spew files all over the file system, which can obviously make it difficult to remove an application that does that. So with that background in mind, you can find out more about Flatpak on flatpak.org. But I wanted to segue into a couple of Flatpak articles. Debugpoint.com has an article on becoming a pro Flatpak user, and it gives you some commands that help you do that. And while you don't absolutely need these commands, it does help from a maintenance point of view. So go ahead and check out this article, which is linked down in the description. It talks about installing Flatpak, setting up Flatpak Remote, and installing a Flatpak app from FlatHub, which is sort of the centralized repository for Flatpak apps. So go ahead and check that out. The next article over on debugpoint.com talks about Flatseal. And Flatseal is a GUI application that allows you to manage permissions for Flatpak apps. And why do you need something like this? Well, the simple reason is that unlike traditional apps that you might get from your package manager, apt, RPM, and Arch packages, Flatpaks and others don't have the same integration with the system. They are sandboxed. So it gets a little bit more complex to manage the permissions. And while this will one day likely be worked out and become much easier, Flatseal right now scratches that itch to make these options available. You can find this article linked down in the description. Again, that's over on debugpoint.com. And that, my friends, is going to bring us to the end of episode 5 of Midweek News for December 28th, 2022. This is the final Midweek News of the year, and I look forward to bringing you more in 2023 and beyond. Until next time, thank you for listening and watching. Have a great day.